It's a dangerous job, but there is something you can do to help make it a little safer. I'm Victoria Bailey, and we take a look at National Work Zone Awareness Week coming up.
WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll get to that story in a moment. It was a tense morning in Webster County. An attempt to take a man in for a court-ordered mental evaluation leads to a standoff with law enforcement. Our Jory Talley was there. She joins us in the studio with more on what happened. Jory.
The man barricaded himself inside a home near downtown Eupora. He then armed himself with a gun inside the home, putting his mother and law enforcement in harm's way. It all happened here at this home in Eupora Tuesday morning. Sherry Sheridan says her 28-year-old son, Justin Sheridan, is bipolar, psychotic, and schizophrenic and hasn't been taking his medication.
I went down there to meet Rob Collins to have the papers made out, you know, where they could pick him up and send him off to a hospital, try to get him some help.
Sherry and law enforcement say that's what set her son off.
He got my husband's gun and put some bullets in it, and he was come to the door and told them that he was going to kill them.
Chief Deputy Jeff Mann was en route to the scene as everything was unfolding. He says thinking about a gun going off is a nightmare.
We were really on the edge also while we were on scene. He was throwing firecrackers out the back door of the home, and so, you know, thank goodness everybody had their sense about them to know it wasn't gunfire, and you know, that's part of the training that we get, you know, to realize what the fake and the real and the situation like that, not to overreact.
Investigator Landon Griffin says you can never have enough training in these types of situations.
Muscle memory helps you out a lot in situations like that, but the overall training today was patience, having patience. We don't want to rush in there. We don't know the situation. We don't know really what kind of state of mind he's in.
Law enforcement say teamwork, communication, and dispatch are crucial.
Calling in the MHP and making sure they know the SWAT, to call the SWAT and things like that. You know, we can't do it by phone, so we have to relay all that information through 911 or our dispatchers here at the Sheriff's Department. So we rely on them heavily to make sure they're getting that information to the proper authorities.
Mann says the Mississippi Highway Patrol and SWAT team were initially called in to assist, but before they arrived, Sheriff Tim Mitchell made entry into the house and the man was taken into custody. This case remains under investigation and no injuries were reported.
All right, Jory in our studio with that story. A silver alert that is in place for a missing New Albany man. 80-year-old James Riddle was last seen yesterday just before 1 p.m. in the 500 block of North Street in New Albany. He was driving a gray Lincoln Town car with the Mississippi license plate UND 308. Riddle was last seen wearing a red sweater, black pants, and black slippers. His family says he suffers from a medical condition which could cloud his judgment. If you think you've seen Riddle, please contact the New Albany Police Department. It is the call that will always be answered when you dial 911. A lot goes into the moments following, and for dispatchers in rural areas like Calhoun County, the art of multitasking is a necessary skill. Handling the 911 call as well as coordinating with multiple agencies smoothly is what makes a dispatcher valuable to solving a problem.
It's a relief. It feels good to know that you've done everything, because then you can sit back and say, you know, did it, got it done.
And several rural county dispatchers also communicate with each other, making sure they have everything they need during a crisis situation. Patching potholes, cutting grass, cleaning drains. Road workers are on the job around the clock to make sure our streets stay clean and safe. This is National Work Zone Awareness Week. Our Victoria Bailey spent the day learning how motorists can return the favor of safety to the workers on the road. She joins us live with more. Victoria.
That's right, Andrea. I'm on Highway 12 in Starkville, where residents here can tell you at any given moment this area can turn into a work zone. Now, constant construction can be annoying, but the experts say it is very important to exercise extreme caution when you're near a work zone.
Every morning I wake up, I come into work. I hope I make it home today.
Mostly we try to keep the public safe and keep potholes patched, all the dead animals picked up off the highway, road debris. Anything that'll keep the public safe on the highway, we try to do it.
But for Mississippi Department of Transportation workers or road workers in general, the job gets a little tougher when working on busy highways or heavily traveled parts of town.
They're just a few feet away from traveling the public. Cars aren't paying attention on the road. We have a lot of distracted drivers. So not only do they have to concentrate on what the job they're doing on the road, but also watch out for those that are on the road that are distracted driving.
MDOT roughly has 3,000 employees statewide. District Maintenance Engineer Matt Dunn says with a number that size, the truth is,
for road workers, technically, this is the office, and to exercise workplace safety requires the community's help.
One thing is, as you're driving down the road, we always have an awareness of a work zone coming up. We'll have, a lot of times we'll have a 1 mile ahead sign that'll alert the public there is something going on ahead. So when you see an orange sign, just be aware that there is going to be workers on the road and to watch out for those workers. And we'll have flashing lights to make awareness of where our workers are, and we'll all have safety vests on. But just pay attention. When you see the orange sign, slow down and pay attention to what you're doing.
And MDOT Maintenance Tech 3 Vion Harris says, remember this.
Please take caution, slow down, and so we all can have a safe day that day.
Now, for more information on work zone safety, visit WCBI.com. But for now, we're live in Starkville. I'm Victoria Bailey, WCBI News. Andrea?
Well, 83 bridges in Mississippi will be closing. Governor Phil Bryant signed a state of emergency today ordering MDOT to close bridges deemed unsafe for travel. The bridges are located in several counties statewide, including Itawamba County in northeast Mississippi. We've reached out to the county to find out what bridges that includes. The bridges will remain closed until they are in compliance with federal and state laws, regulations, and standards. Time for a first look at our forecast. We'll turn things over now to meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Hey Andrea, really enjoying this pleasant weather we have out here in downtown Tupelo. 64 right now, light north winds, people enjoying the weather out at Fair Park. Still seeing a few 50s creep on the board now, already down to 59 in Oxford and in Corinth, still 70 in Macon and Amory, 68 here in Columbus and in Starkville. Now through the evening, temperatures will be cooling. We'll see some 50s on the board by 9 p.m. across the entire area. We are heading towards the 30s tonight. Coming up, we're going to talk about the chance for some storms after a week of sunshine. We'll have all those details and more coming up here in just a bit. Andrea?
Day 2 of testimony has ended in the Starkville mayoral election challenge. Local attorney Johnny Moore is contesting the results of the election. Mayor Lynn Spruill has been in office since being certified the winner in May of last year. Testimony continued today in front of Special Judge Barry Moore regarding the ballots that Moore claims to be in question. The trial continues tomorrow morning. A proposal that would require Medicaid recipients in Mississippi to work is garnering a lot of attention and some debate. This morning, a nonprofit group held a briefing showing what they claim is the negative aspect of the workforce training initiative. However, some believe the proposal would help the states spend money more wisely and help Medicare recipients find long-term employment and private health insurance. Our Allie Martin has more on it.
There's job training.
The message from this group to state officials was clear. The current proposed Medicaid work requirement would impact the state's poorest residents with children.
The problem is that it's a lose-lose.
This briefing was organized by a nonprofit called Catch Kids. They help provide free medical services for children in Lee County. Citing a study from Georgetown University's Health Policy Institute, opponents of the work requirement for Medicaid recipients say if parents with children don't work, they could lose Medicaid coverage. And if they work 20 hours a week at a minimum wage job, they make too much to qualify for Medicaid in Mississippi. Mississippi is seeking federal permission to require Medicaid recipients to work at least 20 hours a week before receiving health coverage. Opponents believe there are too many pitfalls.
Stress on the family is going to affect the children. And so the parents who are working and not able to get health care is going to be a very stressful thing.
I'm a big proponent of what we chose not to do, and that's Medicaid expansion in this state, because there are a lot of folks that are falling through the cracks, not able to afford health insurance, and they're working.
But those who favor the work requirement say it's not mean-spirited to ask those who can work to not only find a job, but hopefully a long-term career where they have access to private health insurance and other benefits.
People don't realize that Medicaid is a transitional medical help for those who are able-bodied. It's not meant to be a permanent thing with them.
And Representative Boyd says the Medicaid rolls need to be reviewed so those who aren't eligible are removed.
They're taking away the benefits from those people who are eligible.
The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services must approve Mississippi's request before a work requirement program takes effect. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Now, even if the work requirement is approved, it will take 1 year to go into effect. An MSU hoops standout is on her way to New York and the hopes of a professional career. We check in after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Mississippi State senior and basketball standout Victoria Vivians is preparing for the 2018 WNBA draft. Vivians boarded a plane for New York this morning at Golden Triangle Regional Airport. She says her family, her parents, will be joining her along with Coach Vic Schaefer and his wife. They will be there at the draft. She says this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and a dream come true.
It's surreal, you know, you growing up, I've never expected to be a WNBA player too. I knew I was just good. Then coming in college and actually doing it and making it feels great.
And the draft will be at Nike's New York headquarters. Vivians is projected to be picked in the first round. Well, it isn't the pros, but a men's basketball team will be playing at the national level. Tupelo's Crypto Ballers advanced at last weekend's Senior Olympics in Biloxi. The Crypto Ballers beat the Clinton Arrows in the final round. Team members say they learned a lot about how the half-court 3-on-3 games work, and they're working on some things they need to improve on as they advance. The guys have known each other for about 20 years.
Yeah, we've had a lot come and go. These are the ones that have just stuck through the years that we've all played together, and we said if we're still playing together when we reach 50, then we'll play in the Senior Olympics.
The Nationals will be held next June in Albuquerque. Dr. Hildenbrand says they also need another big guy to play center for them.
Well, if you need to wash the pollen off your car like I did today through Friday are great days to do that. Saturday, however, looks like we got some rain in the forecast. We'll tell you all about the rain and storms coming here after the break.
Alert forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Lots of sunshine out there today. Temperatures also didn't feel that bad. Maybe had the windows down in the car. Still at 68 right now in downtown Columbus. Light north winds helping to keep some drier air in place. In fact, really across the entire southeast, seeing that pleasant weather. Some 70s off to our south, Mobile, New Orleans, and Montgomery, Alabama. Just to our north, Memphis, a little cooler in those 50s. The warm air is coming. We're seeing a lot of this warm air in the Great Plains here, 60s and 70s, all the way from the Dakotas down through Texas. We will get our share of this warm air starting tomorrow. And we're also going to get some more sunshine. There isn't really much going on across the country at all here. Seeing lots of clear skies, maybe a few sprinkles in some spots off to our north, but we'll stay clear, stay dry for the next couple of days. Now, because of some of the clearing skies overnight, some of those temperatures tonight will drop a bit low. We do have a frost advisory for Benton, Alcorn, and Tippah counties. It'll be some of our friends perhaps along Highway 2, Highway 14, 15, or even US 72 from Corinth, Ripley, and whatnot. Maybe some patchy frost. Can't even rule that out. Maybe for some folks in Boonville, New Albany, or Tishomingo counties. But really for us in Tupelo, down in the Golden Triangle, I think we'll be fine. The reason for that, they may drop into the mid-30s here, and even low 30s in a spot or two along the Tennessee River Valley. 36 in Iuka, Corinth, and Ripley. Upper 30s for the rest of us, though. Maybe even staying at 40 for DeKalb and in Aliceville. Now Wednesday, much like today, maybe even a bit warmer there. We're heading for those mid-70s for many of us into the afternoon hours, seeing this lunchtime. Might even want to have that outside. Plenty of sunshine. Cannot complain about that. Now we'll keep the sunshine around here. In fact, perhaps what we'll be seeing is those temperatures getting into the 70s for all of us, except for Corinth. I got you at 69 on the board there, but 73 in DeKalb, 71 in Starkville, 71 in West Point for our highs. Here's a quick list of things to do through Friday. Perhaps go grill for dinner, walk the dog, wash the car. Just don't stay indoors, whatever you do. Get out and enjoy it, because this weekend we may not get that weather we want this week. We'll have to watch for some showers and storms. Starting on Friday, looking off to our west, a slight risk of severe weather exists. We'll get some of those storms in on Saturday in our area, really leading to dry on Friday. Late Friday night into Saturday, this line of showers and thunderstorms in our area will bring us the chance for some strong to perhaps even severe storms. We're going to be keeping an eyes on it here in the WCBI Weather Studio for you, especially given that if we can push this off more towards Saturday or during the day, that may help increase those severe weather chances for us as we start off our weekend. After the storms on Saturday, then into Sunday, a big cool down coming for us, highs in the low 60s. We may get another frost again Monday morning, but we're back to 70 heading into Tuesday of next week. Andrea?
Coming up, Alabama celebrating their national championship with the president in Washington, D.C. today. More from the nation's capital next.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Your national champion Alabama Crimson Tide football team was in Washington, D.C. today. Specifically, they were actually at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's the White House, and President Donald Trump enjoyed the Crimson Tide on hand. Bradley Bozeman, by the way, asked about his proposal on the field after that national championship win. The president even joked with him, making sure the two were still together. They are, don't worry. For the Tide, it was an honor and a privilege to be at the White House, and the president, who was in attendance for that national title game, explained the thriller in his address.
In the national championship game, you stuck to the process even when it was looking pretty tough. I was watching. I said, Coach, not looking too good. Down 13-0 at halftime to a great Georgia team. These champions fought back as they did all season long, and they kept fighting and fighting.
The team presented the president with his very own personalized jersey with that number 17, signifying the number of national championships they've won. He also had a helmet and a commemorative football, and President Trump signed off with a roll tide following the meeting. Very cool. All right, over to Belmont. We're on the signing day circuit today. Skylar Maxwell signed to continue his football career at Huntington College. That's in Montgomery, Alabama. This past season, Maxwell finished with a 72% blocking percentage on the O-line. Defensively, he finished with 50 tackles, 5.5 sacks, had 4 tackles for loss. He also had other offers, but felt that once he toured the campus at Huntington, he knew that's where he would be the best fit at the Division III school.
It's awesome. It's like we talked last time, that's been the goal ever since I've been a little kid. It's just after high school could keep playing, and I got the opportunity to do that now. Just the atmosphere there, like all the coaches that talk to me, they have like little tailgates at the game, just like I'd be playing at a big school. I just felt like that's where I fit in best.
It's a goal that he's had for a long time to continue his career. Playing football, he loves it, and we just look forward to he's playing at a close school. We look forward to getting to see him play.
At South Pontotoc today, another Cougar continuing his football journey. That's Chaz Keith. He signed with Dakota College at Bodno today. Keith joins teammate Jalen Carter, who signed with the school during signing day. Now, Keith credits Carter for getting him a chance to play for the Lumberjacks. Chaz played on the front forwards at South Pontotoc during his senior season. He's thankful for the opportunity to continue to play, but also for his coaches that prepared him.
Coach Bradley and all the other coaches, they taught me about being a man, not just about football. And not only will it carry on in my college career, but as I start work, I'll remember everything that they taught me.
He did a great job for us on the defensive line. He stepped in, worked really hard, and the coaches from North Dakota College saw his film and decided that they would like for him to be a part of their program.
Lastly, the Hoops ICC sophomore guard Brian Halem's named a second-team NJCAA All-American instead. The Simmons High grad averaged 19.6 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game with the Indians this past year. The Ole Miss signee scored 20 or more in 11 contests this season, had a career-high 41 against Southern Shreveport back in December. We've got a busy night of baseball ahead. Ole Miss and Southern Miss in action right now down in Pearl. We'll have highlights of that game coming up at 10. plus Saltillo West Point baseball, New Hope Kosciuszko baseball, and Eupora East Webster fast pitch. So we're going to be busy on the diamond tonight, but we'll have some great highlights for you coming up at 10. That's it for sports. We'll get the last week of forecast.
Plenty of sunshine Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday looks like during the day, staying dry late Friday night into Saturday. We're watching the chance for some strong storms, maybe even some severe storms. So it might be an active day for us then. So for now, enjoy these 3 days of sunshine and warmth we have, because if you notice too, after that,
it gets cold.
It got cold again, yeah.
It does.
So, but we're back to the 70s on Tuesday. It seems like spring, we're up and down.
We are. It seems like it. Well, you and I are on the news set tonight, but in the morning, during mid-morning, we'll be in the kitchen. You're cooking stew.
We will, yes.
All right, so be sure to check that out in the morning. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.